Right. Welcome to the pre-game show at Fish Talk Live.
Welcome in, welcome in.
Sorry we're running a little late. We just got out of a pre-scallop meeting with all of our awesome captains.
The old team meeting.
Almost that time of the year, Billy.
Coming up quick.
Very quick.
Very, very quick. A month away. Well, a little over, but still.
Man, it feels like it was just last year, huh?
Feels like it was just last month.
All right. Well, again, guys, this is just the pregame show right here at Fish Talk Live. So we'll be doing the actual show here soon. Action-packed night. We've got all kinds of cool stuff and cool people to talk to, as always. But we're really, really excited for tonight. How about last week's episode? How cool was that?
It was pretty awesome. I was sadly not here for it, but
right, yeah.
to sit and watch it on the couch, that was a heck of an episode.
Was that your first one you've ever watched live?
Live, yeah.
Yeah?
Yep. I've watched a couple of them, going back in the past, but never have I watched it as it was happening.
Too cool.
Yep, didn't get a chance to win anything.
So let us know if y'all are logged on. Say hello, hi, how are you? We've got I'm pretty sure I saw a lot of photos come through in the catch of the week, right?
Pretty excited for that.
Oh, go ahead, Bree. Bree's got a question.
Scallop season.
Mm-hmm.
We have on Facebook and over phone in person.
Uh-huh.
Some people ask about if the ramp is going to be open for our regular.
Good question. So the question is during scallop season, is the ramp going to be open to the public? Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. It is going to be $20 to launch, secured parking, nice easy-going ramp. We don't have a lot of parking spots, so...
I was going to say, it is kind of a first-come, first-served basis.
It is first-come, first-serve. It does come with 2 bags of ice as well, and you cannot ask for a better place to launch.
Only what, depending on your pace, 12 to 20 minutes drive? I mean, they're pretty quick.
Very quick, limited traffic. Mama D. But, again, this is just the pregame show. We're getting started here any second, as soon as we get the cue. And what else, Billy?
I don't know. I didn't get to go fishing this week.
No, that was a lot. All right, Rick, fishing. Rick is fishing the next 3 days, loving the weather coming.
Yeah.
We've actually got a special for you tonight, Rick. You're going to learn a lot about weather tonight.
Oh.
So are we doing that first? You want to go ahead and jump in and do that? So go double check and make sure the green screen works.
Oh boy. It's always nice to get thrown into things, just like the wind.
Billy, why don't you give us a little weather report coming up this week and what's happening?
Oh, wow. You guys really went all out.
So, Billy, what's going on the Nature Coast?
So coming up on the Nature Coast, we do have a bit of weather coming in these next few days. We have some higher winds, as you can see right there. This is one of my favorite apps to be able to follow. It is called windy.com, and it gives you I can't say it's 100% accurate, but it is darn close for the hour-by-hour winds. I base a lot of my airboat tours off of it, and it treats me very well. The very cool thing about having that app, it is live and up to date. You get to see into the future. And just as you see behind me, the winds are going to pick up throughout this week. They're going to be coming out of the east for a bit, and they're going to work their way through the north and heading south. We do have a bit of weather as far as rain coming in, but it's Florida. We really don't know 100% of what's happening. So,
Well, what day is that, Sean? Friday? That's Friday.
Yeah, I think Friday, Saturday, it's going to get mighty windy this week. Or breezy, I should say. It's going to stay rather steady.
So, Billy, that's my favorite part about weather in Florida. And Mario and I were talking about this earlier, is that we feel like the person that is making the ultimate calls and putting out these forecasts,
Yep.
They work for PETA. They've got to. Because it's going to rain, it's going to pour, it's going to be awful weather.
Yeah.
Do we even get any rain today?
No. At least not here on the coast, we did not get any rain.
Did we get any rain yesterday?
No, at least not here on the coast, we did not.
Nope. All right, so we're going to do the catch of the week, the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week, and then we're going to get started with the show. But this is actually one of my favorite parts of the show anyway, so
This is. I always enjoy getting to see what the people brought in for the week.
that's it. Because he doesn't catch it.
Everybody gets to make me jealous. There's a good zoomed out view. My goodness.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
There it is.
That was a really cool
Now that
feature,
redfish
Sean.
got some size to it.
That was awesome. How did you
Captain
do that?
Gene went out the other day, brought in some very nice fish. He's had a fairly good week out there. Nice golden reds coming in. My goodness, that's a nice gag grouper. I'm excited for grouper season.
Captain Brian Fichette.
Yeah,
there.
way to be. Brian Fichette getting out there, getting on them. Captain Gene got himself another really nice one. I think that was, what, 2 days ago?
Yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah, it was
Oh,
yesterday.
wow.
Yeah.
Good redfish. Ooh. Very nice, Jason. Pretty cool angle. You
Yeah, it is.
hide all the fishing spots that way.
Look at that Goldilocks.
Yeah, beautiful deep colored red right there. Must have came out of some dirty water, or at least recently did.
There you go.
That was his very first redfish. It was pretty cool when Rick actually kept me up to date on their outing that day. They ended up catching a few nice fish. Got one nice tarpon to eat, but never did land it. Very cool. Nice catch.
Little Largell. Getting it done already.
Yep. Jessica got a stringer full. My goodness. Makes that redfish look pretty small up against that big trout.
Yeah, it does.
Good fishing. Jimmy, holy smokes. Nice cobe. That's a dark cobia, too. Gene, very nice. Getting out there on a double header. That's awesome. I know he's been out there a lot these past few days. All right.
That is so cool.
That is pretty darn cool, actually. Makes the, learn something new every day. I'll get a little
Extreme
sneak
Decalz
peek.
is so good that they can just put photos up there whenever they want. How cool is that? All right, let's get started with the show. We will be right back.
Beyond the woods, down the twists and the turns, through the marsh, lies the knowledge needed to fish the nature coast.
This is Fish Talk Live.
We
Gets me every time.
We should wear the same clothes one day and then just keep doing it like it's.
Right.
Welcome to
Fish Talk Live, presented by.
Phillips
Ooh,
Auto Group.
little twist there at the end.
Yeah, threw me off, Billy. But we just flow with it so easily. Mari and I flowed with it last week. I'll
did
tell you
very
what,
well.
I was super nervous. I'm not gonna lie, Mari. I was very nervous for that. So like right before we're getting the intros going, I was like, all right, Mario. So I'm gonna say. He's like, I know. Here every week. I was like,
I've
all right.
watched it.
All right, Mario. Then this is. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Fish Talk Live. We got some big guests tonight. We got the winners of the St. Augustine Florida Redfish Series tournament. That was such a fun tournament. Twist in weather, and the best prevailed. So we've got the Team Slayer that got first place, Josh and James. Then we've got Chris that got first place in kayak. That is going to give us a little insight on how he got that done. Because
Way to be.
I do not envy anyone being on a kayak that weekend.
You all had some weather to deal with.
Yeah, we had some weather, and it was. I feel like that's a tough area to kayak. I mean, they get a lot bigger of a range, to launch in different spots.
Right.
But
Still doesn't make it much
Chris,
easier.
owner of Skinny Water Lures, got it done. So we're gonna be talking to them, find out what secrets that helped them prevail.
At least what they're willing to give up.
Now, Billy, we are holding 2 beers, right?
Uh-huh.
Like we do every week, but this time we didn't have to go real far to buy these beers.
Pretty sweet, actually.
It was pretty sweet. So we posted something on Ozello Keys Marina Facebook page not too long ago that for the last 3 years that we've been attempting to get a special license, or I can't remember how I put it, but anyway,
Yeah.
we finally got our package beer license, so we are now selling package beer right here at OKM. So come get your favorite brews. We've got some good stuff down there, including our favorites, Miller Lite. So yeah, come get you some. And then something else I forgot to mention.
Uh-oh.
You know, beer I feel like powers the pursuit, but you know what else powers the pursuit? Abyss batteries. So we've got one of our favorites, Ryan, that's going to be talking about the technology and what makes Abyss battery above others, in my opinion.
Pretty sweet setup.
We've
Seen it firsthand and use it firsthand.
Still using it. Mara, you use Abyss battery, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Soon. Wink, wink, Ryan. All right, so Billy, before we get into all that fun stuff, the past few days on the airboat, those calm winds, you know, what are you seeing just right outside of Ozello, where you get to see everybody when you're out there? And
Right outside of Ozello, playing in those crystal clear waters. Actually got to have a pretty eventful trip yesterday. Getting out there, I had one fellow that really wanted to. He didn't really want to see, but he didn't quite believe the whole shallow water grouper thing.
Oh, yeah.
And brought him out there, and happened to find one of the ledges that we know about out there. Only maybe knee-deep water at a good medium tide, and we got to watch a nice 25, 27-inch grouper just watch us go by. It's pretty cool to be able to see that stuff.
Stared you right in the eyes, right?
Oh my goodness! I cannot wait for season.
You know what was cool about that is he had a pretty popular pair of polarized glasses on before he left, and he started asking us about the Bajíos. And he was going through the showcase downstairs and checked the different frames out. And I said, "Here, man," I said, "just here, take my glasses, you know, on your airboat tour." And when he came back, he got 2 pairs.
Yeah, his wife wore his, and he wore Gary's the whole trip. Never took them off. It was pretty good to see. And the other really cool thing we got to see out there, amongst quite a bit of redfish moving around the flats at low tides, snook themselves. You'll find them in the pockets at the lower tides. But the amount of beautiful, monstrous tarpon out there
Oh, yeah.
was pretty wild to get to see.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, the thing about our tarpon in our area is, you know, they really truly are hard to target.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Bray and I got to go with Captain Court day before Mother's Day, was it?
2 days before Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Brianna's Mother's Day. We got to go with Captain Court down in the Dunedin area, and it was super cool. Those tarpon, there's like one area along beaches that those tarpon just constantly flow
Patrolling.
through. Yeah, and we don't really have that here unless you go a little further south. But you do come across those big schools of tarpon.
Oh, yeah.
They're just hard to track down.
Absolutely. They were in places that I've never seen them before, which was really cool to get to see. It was a very big surprise.
But you know what I would say to y'all is keep a tarpon rod on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're out there in those outer keys. And, you know, I saw some in Little Homosassa Bay today.
I mean, they're all over the place out there. I mean, I don't know as far as targeting them, like you said, but to be able to go out there playing on the airboat, you get to see them a lot easier than most would.
You know, last year when we started talking about this, we ended up getting some hate mail from
Don't
some
talk
local
about
guides.
the tarpon.
Yep. But
What would you have written down?
so we've got a good question. If someone was going to be keeping a tarpon rod on the boat,
What would that consist of?
what would they keep rigged up? You know, from what I learned from Court, you know, 40, 50-pound fluorocarbon leader, a good long stretch of it is very important. We were using 50-pound braid line, but we had like 3-4 foot of leader tied with the FG knot, so we could still cast it pretty good. You know, as far as artificial, you know, I really can't speak enough about Maddox baits.
They present themselves very well when you just slow reel them through the water.
Definitely, and you know you got to use a light jig head. You know when you're out there in the flats, in my opinion, those hoagies I think are awesome baits.
yeah.
They really are. But if you've got some big giant pinfish, you know, and a good 6-0 circle hook, 7-0 circle hook, pick your biggest pinfish that you've got in that live well, save them, and you know what I've learned is people use corks for tarpon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Almost like you would on the cobia side.
It's kind of weird. But anyway, so anything else? You know, I mean, have you been seeing any big schools of redfish? Or?
Nothing as far as big schools. I know on the lower tides, granted, most of y'all can't get out there just because it's only 10, 12 inches. Playing on the south side of the reef, I do notice a lot more fish moving in towards the reef area itself, playing on the south side. Other than that, I mean, once that tide moves in, I pretty well lose all visibility of them.
Yeah.
You know, they're searching for that shade, then getting into the mangroves, and as y'all may notice, myself out there running, I'm not burning the coast. So I try to stay out of y'all's way. That way, y'all have the best chance to catch fish.
Yeah. Supposedly there was some close of an incident with a tour airboat today from rumors that we've heard. It had nothing to do with us. It was not us. Just to clear that up right now. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I tell you what, let's hit a commercial break. And when we come back, I really want to hear Captain Mario and these guys talk about some St. Augustine fishing.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back.
Getting out on the water has never been easier. At Phillips Buick GMC, our lineup of trucks and SUVs are here to toe the line. From the Sierra's powerful V8 engine and multi-pro tailgate to the most desirable SUVs on the market, they're well equipped to get your toys safely to your destination. At Phillips Buick GMC, we have the area's best selection of the right cars at the right price, right on the money.
All right, so before we go over to the Ayinde Matthews State Farm casting couch, God bless you, Aubrey.
I was wondering what that was.
Before we go over to Captain Mario to interview, guys, check out the Florida Redfish Series website and Facebook page.
Yeah.
They just announced some really cool summer series tournaments.
Things that may pique your interest.
For kayakers, yep. And boaters, yeah, the go live stuff for boaters. So make sure to get over to their social pages and website, Florida Redfish Series. And if you are even the least bit interested in fishing real deal tournaments, this is the perfect way to start with these summer series tournaments. So,
Agreed.
That being said, let's go over to Captain Mario and see what's happening over there.
Welcome to the Ayinde Matthews. I believe it's State Farm casting couch. I had to look back at it for a second. I'm Captain Mario Castello, and we have the winners of the Florida Redfish Series in St. Augustine, Team Slayer Lures. I believe it's James and Josh. Are you there, James? Josh?
Yep. We're here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I don't know if I can hear you.
There we go.
There, are they back on? Are you back on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
there
I
we
can
go.
hear you now, loud and clear.
Good. All right, cool.
All right, good deal. I can hear both of you guys. All right, why don't you introduce yourselves to the public out here and tell them who you are and what you do.
My name's James Drysdale. I pretty much just go to work and fish tournaments as much as I can.
Hell yeah.
Can't get enough of redfish, and be able to compete against people and travel around Florida and Southeast for that matter is that's what I love to do.
Good deal.
Yep, I'm Josh McLendon. From the Panhandle originally, but I moved to St. Augustine after I met my wife. So I've been here about 10 years and work in the insurance industry, but have an ag background. So how I ended up in insurance, I have no idea. But yeah, I've fished redfish tournaments since I started fishing. I think my first one when I was maybe 13. I fished bass all my life and kind of got burnt out and found redfish through a buddy and started fishing little local tournaments. And oh man, like James said, can't get enough of it. It's way more of a drug than bass fishing, in my opinion. So.
Oh, I know. I make a living off of red fishing, so I love it too. Yeah. So, tell us how your day started with the event.
So we actually didn't pre-fish really for that event. We just got lucky and had a tournament that was 2 weeks prior that had the same tide cycle. It was out of Jacksonville, and we made the run down to St. Augustine. We did well in that tournament. We came in second in the Elite Series. And so being that the tide was going to kind of line up how it was before, and the weather was supposed to actually be good, I know it wasn't, but it was supposed to be nice. So we were pretty confident going into the tournament. But that morning, we were sitting there at the ramp. It kind of seemed calm sitting at Volano. We were like, dang, this is going to be a nice day. But about 5 miles into the run, we hit this wall of wind, and we saw the black skies. We're like, ooh, it's going to be a sporty day today. But
it's gonna be bumpy.
yeah, it was threw a little bit of a wrench in the plan, but I'll let Josh talk a little bit more about how the day proceeded after that. But
Yeah, we me and James is pretty cool. We're really similar in how we think and how we fish, which can be good and bad, but we're both creek guys. We really like creek redfish. St. Augustine, probably the last, I think James would agree, in the last, at least the 10 years I've been here, 10 years ago, it was amazing fishery, and I'm sure it was even better before then, but at least in the last 5 years, the boat traffic has just become horrendous, especially, even on a tough day like Saturday was, the boat traffic is still just unbelievable. So fishing the outside, fishing the intercoastal can be really rough. So, we just like creeks. James and I have enough experience in St. Augustine that a lot of the redfish that we catch, we kind of know, we pretty much know their name. We know where they live. We know where they sleep. It's all about timing and the tide, the time of year. And just so happens the creek that we were fishing, like James said, we did really good in a couple weeks before. And the thing about creek redfish is they're not consistent, unfortunately, most of the time. You could go there on a Friday pre-fishing and a creek be absolutely loaded with bait, loaded with fish. They're chewing like crazy. Go back Saturday morning, it is a ghost town. So it's always a risk, but if you can have multiple creek spots, typically if the fish cooperate, you're gonna have a good day.
It's funny he says that too, because sorry, but I wanted to say this. I do remember I pre-fished one day for the Florida Redfish series. I went out just kind of on my own, just wanted to cruise around and check a spot, and I fished there. And I talked to Josh about running up and checking the creek where we did really well in, and kind of decided just not even to go there because personally I was scared that the fish wouldn't be there. And I was like, you know what? If they're not going to be there, I don't want to find that out right now and have to come up with a new game plan. I'd rather just eat that on tournament day and try to figure something else out on the fly. Because like he said, we did good there a couple weeks prior, and we were just praying they were still going to be there. And we got lucky. All these tournaments, you got to get super lucky in. And we executed the game. We actually had to kind of zig a little bit because we didn't catch 2 fish out of that creek. But I will say Josh caught all the fish. I caught 1 fish about, maybe 18 inches. He might have been legal, but I didn't even measure him. I threw him back. And we ended up running probably 20 miles south of town, and Josh caught another big fish down there, and that was enough for us. And it was definitely a tough day, windy, and yeah, we got lucky. That's where local knowledge comes in and helps a lot, where if something's not cooperating, something's not working out in your favor, you've got backup plans, like he said, during what tides where fish are going to hang out. And we actually haven't fished together all that long. This is only the second, third, fourth tournament we ever fished together. And so in St. Augustine, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I know everything there is to know from here to Jacksonville, but I really don't, because we'll be on the boat and Josh will be like, oh yeah, right over there, actually on that bank, I've done really well. And I'm like, dude, I never even thought to fish there. And it's the same vice versa. We know stuff that he knows, stuff that I don't. I know stuff that he doesn't, and it works out when we're around here.
That's what makes you a good team, though, is the knowledge that both of you guys share, especially when you're doing the tournaments, for sure. You guys are Team Slayer Lures. Now, talk to us about the baits you were using on the tournament.
Well, Josh caught all the fish.
So
So we'll let Josh talk about all the bait.
it goes both ways. It goes both ways. Gabe's got all our fish in the Steenhatchee when I felt like a 5-year-old all day long, just watching his dad fish. But yeah, so I think pretty much everything we started out. I really like the Slayer Inc., the SSB, which is the stick bait. I absolutely, that's one of my top 3 confidence baits. It looks kind of like if you're familiar with a MirrOlure Lil Jon, it's pretty similar to that. To me, it's got a lot better action. It's more durable, and the colors that Slayer Inc. provides in that is really, I like to throw all natural stuff. I don't really get caught up in the chartreuses and all that. I really like natural stuff. So I like the SSB, but I think we caught our first fish, I think, off a little mud flat there. I think I was throwing the SST, the XL, in the camo color. The SST XL is the 4.5-inch bait or 4-inch bait, if I remember right. James would know. He's more up on the specs there. Yeah, so it's a little bit bigger one. To me, the fish over here in St. Augustine and Jacksonville, especially Jacksonville, they like just the SST, which is the smaller, the 3.5-inch bait. But I don't know. I really like that natural color, and Slayer Inc. lures. The action is unreal. Which isn't always a good thing, which is when I throw the SSB. So
yeah, we use the SST here also, but we're using it just like a Little John. Not too many people know about the Slayer Inc. lures, but they have a color. My favorite color for them, I believe it's called Gold Digger, and that's my go-to color here. And it's a fantastic bait. You're right, and it does have some great action. And the best thing about it is the puffer fish don't chew them up so bad because they don't have a paddle on the tail. So, but you guys you said you did some quite a bit of traveling. You went from Jacksonville, St. Augustine. You said you made like a 20-mile run. Tell us about how that run was through the snotty weather, because I know it would beat my teeth out if I made a 20-mile run in the middle of a tournament.
So we're fortunate. We actually both have the same boat, but it's an Egret 189. It's an 18-foot flats boat, and if anyone's familiar with an Egret, it just eats up the chop. It's the boat you want to be in when conditions are nasty. So the boat did fine. We ran. It was more just squinting through the rain and just biting it than getting our teeth kicked in. We really ran 10 miles one way and 10 miles back to town, and then 10 miles past town, so it was kind of covering all over the place. But yeah, the wind was, I'd say the only real rough part of the run would be around the inlet, which is just probably a mile stretch where you're out there in kind of a bigger open water area. Other than that, not that bad. We know a lot of shallow cuts that you can take to get out of the choppiness. And but sometimes it worked out. I mean, we went and caught was 6 3/4 at the next spot. So when there's something at the end of the rainbow, you just got to be able to push through it and keep on running to the spot.
How big was the tide swing that day?
So it was bigger than it was supposed to be. It was forecasted to be a very low high tide. I remember it was supposed to only be like a 4 foot. And I was excited about that because it would keep a lot of the redfish out of the grass. It would let us target them longer, keep them more consolidated in areas. But with that, we had a stiff east wind for like all night, and the tide was up. The tide came in. It was almost a flood tide, how high it came in. Complete opposite of what it's supposed to be. So I would say we had probably a good 5 to 6 foot tide on that day, which is tough to fish.
That's pretty big. Yeah, that's a huge tide. Now, when you guys have the east wind, a lot of our viewers are here on the West Coast. When we have an east wind, it blows all of our water out. And our west wind does the exact same thing. It pushes all that water in, but we don't have a too huge of a tide swing here. We have about a 2.5 to 3 foot tide swing. But yeah, it makes it very difficult, especially if all them fish are way up on the grass. I see a lot of people like to fish that super high flood tide, but for me, myself, I don't like doing it because it spreads these fish out so much. It's hard to get concentrated, but yeah. What other kind of what kind of rod and reels are you using for all of this?
So we're throwing, me and James both been throwing all Bull Bay stuff. The 7.6 medium heavy.
Bull Bay, right there.
Medium, Bull Bay. Yeah, I mean, I was always a Shimano guy, and I still like Shimano, so all my reels are Shimano. But and I have a couple of Florida fishing products reels. As a matter of fact, one in the tournament, me and James both did won a nice little combo with a FFP on it. But man, Bull Bay, I've abused those things, and they just keep right on kicking. I love them. They're for the money, they're a really good rod. I like them a lot.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've been with Bull Bay for about 5 years now, and Kelly and Dustin have been nothing but good to us. But they make a fantastic product, and I guide for a living, so they make a very tough product. And one in particular, I've been using. Actually, there's two of them I've been using: is the Carbine series and the Assault series, and both of those rods are extremely durable because as you know, when you have people that don't fish every day on your boat, they catch these fish and they crawl under the boat. And the rod bends over and it rubs the side of the boat, and a lot of these times these rods just break in half. But they're very, very durable. I'm glad to hear you're with them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
We both throw the snipers. I think both.
Yeah, the sniper, 7'6" 6 to 12. That's at least what I like. It's just the backbone on it is for such a light rod that you get so much feel with, and you can cast it a mile. The
balance
backbone on
perfect too. Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. You can put the heat to some fish. I mean, even in Louisiana, those fish are just angry. They're mean, and you can really put some heat on those fish, and that's all I can ask for.
That's pretty awesome. How long have you been fishing the series? Since it started, have you been fishing it since the beginning?
When did it actually start? Was it 2022 was the first year, or 2021?
I think it was 2021. It was the end of 2021. I think it is. I'd have to go back. I got too much stuff in my brain.
I want to say my first time fishing it was the end of 2021 in Steenhatchee. It was a very tough bite. I didn't catch anything. But my first time I remember doing well in it was in Jacksonville last year, so 2022. I actually fished with my girlfriend there and just kind of stayed close to the ramp and picked around, and we got fourth place in that. And she actually caught a fish, so she was stoked. Kind of her first tournament, and she was ecstatic about it. So that was an experience.
And you guys fish. I guess you're fishing every one of these tournaments in Florida. I would assume. So
the Florida Redfish series, we've kind of not. St. Augustine's the only one that we fished. Actually, the Jacksonville one, it was unfortunate scheduling. It was on the opening day of turkey season, and I'm a big turkey hunter, so I had to go. I went and turkey hunted with my family, and that was a blast. So it kind of stinks that we didn't get to fish that one, but St. Augustine was awesome, and we'd love to go fish the Panacea tournament to be able to qualify for the championship, but we've got a big kingfish tournament here in town that we've already been committed to. But
no excuses.
Billy's sitting over there, and actually Gary says no excuses. But well, congratulations on the win, and I hope to see more of you guys here coming up soon. But congratulations to both of you guys.
I got a quick question. I know we have to get on with the show, but I got a quick question. Is it possible to catch a redfish on a low tide in St. Augustine? Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best time.
You give me a low tide. A low tide, and you better bring some weight. That's all I can say.
when we rate,
not to be cocky, but man, that's the golden. The last third of the outgoing, third of the incoming, that's the money.
Oh, that's the best.
Man, when we kind of raced to this area that we were thinking, like we didn't get to pre-fish or nothing. When we raced to this area, it was still super low tide. We see these other boats that are trying to get in the same area, and they just stop, and we're like, well, let's just keep going. And we actually were like, I wonder if redfish hang out under docks, because you don't do that here. We actually caught one of the fish under a dock, which I was pretty surprised. But but no, I love y'all's area. It's such a cool fishery. Can't wait to get back over there and give it another whirl.
If you get on a good dock bite in St. Augustine, those fish are typically going to be heavy. And if you can stay consistent on them and actually catch them and don't get broke off, you'll have good weight.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Note taken.
Yeah. I just know once all that big boat traffic starts, it has to just shut it down, right?
It's brutal. It does.
It depends how deep
you just can't really fish it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just can't hardly fish it. I mean, when you got 3-foot rollers coming in off of a trawler that, it's just cruising to Jacksonville. Good luck. That's why the intercoastal bite shuts down too.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Makes total sense.
Yeah, Mario, it was pretty funny. When they were talking about the egret, Jacob and I must have saw, we thought it was the same egret going by back and forth, man, but there have been several of them, and you could tell why that's such a worthy tournament boat, because, I mean, it was stuff, and Jacob and I were, at one point, we're like, maybe we should just go move around, and we see these egrets just crashing through this stuff. We probably saw you guys 14 times, and we're like, they'll get it. Well, cool. Guys.
You can definitely let those boats eat.
Oh, man, they're gnarly. Cool. They're gnarly. Well, thank you all very much. We really appreciate it. And then we'll see you at Panacea, right?
We'll see.
All right. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. We also have Chris actually won the kayak division. Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Why don't you introduce yourself to the public out here and let them know who you are?
All right, I'm Chris Krigo. I love to fish redfish tournaments. I work full time, and I also own skinny water lures. So if I'm not fishing and not working my full time job, I'm making baits. So.
Sounds like a fun job, actually. Wouldn't be a bad gig.
It's a lot of work. Keeps me busy.
Those are sweet baits too.
Oh yeah, I've seen quite a few of them out there. They're actually fairly popular on this coast too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of them. But Chris, the kayak division. Now talk about how your tournament day started and maybe a little bit of your pre-fishing if you pre-fished this tournament.
Okay. So I did pre-fish 2 days before the tournament. I threw up 2 different areas that the bait could go to. I made the decision off of tide. I wanted to fish the incoming and outgoing tide. So I tried to pick my decision on a spot that would work with that incoming and outgoing tide. So, and plus the area I picked, I fished before, so I knew there would be some redfish there if I could find them. I had the same spot before. I have placed several times in the top 10 at the spot. Being in the kayak division, we had the option to kind of move around a little bit in between those boundaries. So I actually moved up closer toward Jacksonville a little bit more. I figured there would probably be most people would be fishing probably in St. Augustine. If they're fishing kayaks, probably fishing in St. Augustine. There is quite a bit of areas in St. Augustine to fish, but they do get heavily fished with kayakers. So I knew this area that I usually fish, usually not people go to. So that's why I pushed up to that area. And on the day that I pre-fished, the fishing actually wasn't that good. Now I caught a few. They were small, but prior experience, I knew there would be fish there. If it was a good day with the tide and the tide was supposed to be right. So I stuck to my game plan and stayed there. And during tournament day, of course, it's not a tournament day. It's not raining or windy. Is all get it.
Since you guys are in the kayaks, you're kind of limited on not limited on where you can go, but once you make your decision to go somewhere, you're kind of stuck with it. But
you're kind of stuck. I mean,
how long of a run did you make actually from start to finish on the day?
Actually, surprisingly, so another reason why I picked this area, it's pretty close to where I put in. So honestly, I probably only paddled about 3 miles.
Only.
Yeah. I got lucky because I had another area in the same area mapped out in case this one didn't produce, and it was about 2 miles away. So I got pretty lucky that the fish were at where I wanted to be. And I didn't have to travel very far, especially with the wind being in a kayak. And, you know, it would have made it horrible trying to paddle 2 extra more miles.
Gotcha. Just curious, what it weigh in at? What does your fish weigh in at? Or you do it by the kayak division is rated differently than the regular boat division.
Yeah, so it goes by length, total length. I believe it was 47 and change. So my first fish weighed in or was about 21 and a half. And actually my son that was fishing with me, he got third. He was actually leading at first. And then me and him were kind of battling back and forth. He caught a fish, I'd catch a fish. He'd catch a fish, I'd catch a fish. So it was back and forth, but the old man couldn't let the young buck beat.
No, I know how you feel.
So when I got to my spot, I tried to push back into this creek where I usually fish, and I knew the fish would be at, but it was low, and I couldn't get my kayak in. And I was like, man, what do I do now? Do I sit out here and wait 30, 40 minutes waiting on the water to try to push back up in here so I could get in, or do I paddle another mile down? And I knew there was another entrance to get in that would be a little bit deeper. So I decided to push up. My son, he pushed out and went to another area. And of course, he caught the first redfish. I could hear him hooting and hollering across the ICW. So I knew he had caught one. And I'm like, man, what a day. It already started crabby because I seen a school of fish. I went to get one of my poles out, ripped it out of the rod holder, and snapped my line right off the bat. So I'm like, oh, this is going to start off a tournament day just right with wind, rain, and now I got a broken line. So I pushed up and found a little bit deeper water, started pushing into the back creek where I was trying to get to. And I noticed the fish were hitting a lot of bait fish in the grass. So this area that I fished is surrounded by a lot of islands, grass islands that are surrounded by a lot of oyster bars. And in between those grass islands and oyster bars are a bunch of deep channels. So I noticed a lot of the redfish up in the grass. The water finally got high enough. They started pushing into the grass. I started focusing on the edge of the grass with a Skinny Water Lures 4-inch paddle tail, and I paired it on a owner flat. The reason why I did that was I knew the rain, the wind, I needed to get something. The water was dirty as anything, so I knew I needed to get something with some vibration, some flash, and get those reaction strikes. So I threw that on, threw it out there, ended up getting that 21 and a half inch right off the bat, and then I started getting a lot of short strikes. And I'm like, oh man, what's going on here? And then the bite kind of slowed down and stopped. So I decided, I pushed over, finally got to the area where I really wanted to be at. And it's a area with a lot, like I said, a lot of grass islands, a lot of oyster bars, but deep channels in between those. And I knew that from past experience, the redfish would be in those areas, waiting to ambush those baits as they came over the top of the oyster bars. And as soon as you drop it off that oyster bar into that deep channel, they're on it. So I downsized my 4-inch to a 3.5-inch Skinny Water Lures Green Goblin color, and I took the flash off and I just threw on a jig head, 3/16 ounce jig head, and I would just work it over those oyster bars and let it drop into those deep channels. And I was able to. I probably caught 4 more that were around 20 21 inches. And then later in the day, around 12, 1 o'clock, actually the same area. So what I would do is I would catch a couple, I would leave the area, and I would come back and I would fish it again. Surprisingly, those fish would stay in there because what they would do is they would just follow that channel around and just looking for the bait fish. So I would come back and I would throw a couple more lines in there and I would get a couple more strikes. And then around 1 o'clock, I was able to pull in a 26.5 inch, which pretty much kind of locked me in at that point.
It's a good kicker fish. Well, it seems like your strategy worked pretty good for you. And congratulations on the win. And
Thank you.
hopefully, are you fishing more of these, more of the Redfish series? Are you fishing all of them or just this one?
Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to fish the next one, but we will be at the
No, I got you. Well, congratulations again on the win, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you again.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And Chris, I got something for you real quick, man. I wanted to say thank you for donating all that product for the Fish for the Blue tournament, the fundraiser for Fallen Heroes family.
Yes, sir.
Man, thank you so much for doing that. That was really awesome.
No problem. We are a veteran and first responder owned company, so we try to support as much as we can with first responders and veterans.
That's awesome. That we'd love to hear that. What we'd like to do is I'm going to get with you at the show too, get some of your product. We want to carry in the store,
Okay.
And then we'd also like to do I think Mario. Yep. Then
Do a tackle table talk.
Yeah, we'll do a tackle table talk on it too. So we'll go out, use it, get some good B-roll, and let everyone see it in action because it is an incredible product. It really is. So thank you very much, man. I'll get with you after the show or more than likely tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, no problem.
Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. All right. Well, Captain Mario killing it as always over there on the casting couch, the Ayinde Matthews State casting couch. Thank you all for coming out and talking to us, giving up your secrets, St. Augustine. I definitely learned a lot, man. If you all haven't fished over there, get over there and do it.
It's a different world compared to here.
It really and truly is. It's completely different, but it's a lot of fun and a lot different scenery. So let's hit up a commercial break. And Billy, why don't we talk about some important stuff to do with boats, especially one of the most important, powering the boat.
Sounds good.
With our friend Ryan over at Abyss Battery. So we'll be right back.
Hey Gary, what you doing?
Just going through the book, looking at some dash panels.
As nice as that sounds, what if we went and did something a little more custom? Do you know anybody that might be able to make a switch panel like this?
Let's go talk to Brian.
I think Brian would be a good idea for that.
Cool, let's go.
It'd be sweet.
Oh, Brian. Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
I got a cardboard cutout. Can you make it into something for me?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right. What?
This is our dash panel complete. Just wanted to throw a huge shout out to Brian up there at Extreme Decalz. Nailed it. This is exactly what I had envisioned when I drew literally a cardboard cutout for this to become a true dash piece and showpiece at the same time. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm super stoked to see this thing on the water.
Does it work on the bigger cats?
Oh God, I don't know. It does.
Oh, it does.
You could stick a bowling ball to his head, first of all.
Wow.
I mean, as long as you have a flat spot to it.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
That's awesome. Oh, hey, what's up?
Welcome to the
It doesn't even come off.
the Nature Coast Financial Advisors Tackle Table Talk. So we're going to be talking to our friend Ryan over there at Abyss Batteries.
Yes.
But before we do that, Mauro, you introduced me to a gentleman by the name of Casey Bass.
Yes, Casey Bass. He's a welding fabricator in Bellevue as Seabass Welding and Fabrication. He makes these tiller handles for all these John boat guys. They've been you've seen the plastic tiller handles or some of the carbon fiber tiller handles. The problem with those is in the summertime, it gets very hot and they start to flex and bend, especially with these John boat guys. They're running all over the place now with these John boats. Got a little bit more power. But this is aluminum. This is a fantastic product. It's wrapped on the handle.
Paracord.
Yes, it's got paracord on the handle. It feels good. He makes two different styles. This one happens to be the one, like the Mercuries have a little shut-off switch.
You gotta reach right through and
this one you can put your finger in and shut the thing off, or you can get one without it. You're starting to carry a couple of these here in the shop.
We actually got one and we put it on Brody's little stump knocker.
Yeah. He used that, yesterday or 2 days ago?
What is today? So Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. And it helped out a lot, you know, because he was able to stand up on his little bench seat.
Right.
And, you know, Bree posted a video about it. It was the funniest thing.
Even as small as he is, you use these handles, you don't have to sit down all the time. You can actually stand up, move around it, and still be able to have full steering in the rear. So. And
super track. We passed, back in the Halls River, we passed 3 boats total, and all 3 boats asked us about the tiller handle.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because usually you see PVC pipes, which is actually really bad.
That's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
PVC pipe, and it actually ended up destroying the actual tiller handle itself over the years.
Yeah, because the vibration tears up the handles and stuff like this. Exactly. Yeah, this has got nice some wing nuts on it, where you can clamp them straight down. If it's angled slightly, some of them are angled. You can actually angle this also, but it's a very well built tiller handle.
Oh, it's a beating machine if you're not going to use it for steering the boat.
Oh, yeah. You can use it for clubbing the old lady or something.
I was like a shark, but...
Me too.
Yeah, I got to get with Casey. This is our last one that we have in stock. So, Casey, I'm pretty sure I saw you on the show. We're going to get with you here soon. We need to get some more order because they are super attractive pieces and a great add-on to, really, really attractive. And
beautiful welds. It looks flawless.
And he polishes them up really nice too. So it's a very solid product, and this will not bend.
Oh no!
And it doesn't matter how hot it gets out there; it's not going to bend on you. So.
And all right, so we're going to get with Ryan from Biss Batteries now. Our friends over at the Florida Redfish series, they donated one of those bad to the bone long sleeve shirts.
Oh, nice.
That Submerse Outdoor Gear makes. So they donated for tonight's giveaway.
Oh,
so
sweet.
just FYI. Now, in order to win that shirt, and you've all watched the Reel of Fortune, you've got to be able to share, or you have to share this live feed in order to qualify. There we go. So, all right, Ryan, you out there, my friend?
Yeah, can you hear me?
What's up?
Yeah, there he is.
There's that beautiful face.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
I don't know if he can hear us.
Yep, Sean.
Hey, Sean, wake up over
there.
Sean.
Tell Sean he's got to push the button.
We're not hearing nothing.
Oh.
Oh, now we're hearing something.
What?
So can you guys hear me now?
There
we can hear you now.
Thank you, Sean.
Right on. Oh, I'm glad it wasn't my fault.
Nope, not your side.
Do you guys have one of our batteries mounted on your wall?
We have 2 of them. Mm-hmm. That's how light they are.
How did you do that?
Bubble gum.
So
the same way we stuck that cap to his head. That's how those batteries.
Lick it and stick it.
Well, that's how light they are. This 36 volt, the 60 amp there that I carry in my boat, it only weighs 37 pounds, and literally we have 2 of those little shelf holders holding it up.
Gotcha. All right. Sweet.
Yeah, but you're the guy behind the Biss. Tell us, how do you get those Biss batteries so light like that, Ryan?
Especially to push.
No, I saw the one mounted sideways, and I was like, "How did they do that?" I didn't know if I sent you a fake battery or not. So that's a real battery. But yeah, man, how do we get our batteries so light? So if you go down a wormhole on the engineering side of things, typically the best quality lithium cells that are available on the marketplace are also your lightest and your smallest. So if you look at other batteries, if you look at major batteries and look at their 60 or 63 amp hour batteries, and you're like, well, why is that twice the size of a Biss battery, and why does it weigh 15 to 18 pounds more? It's a direct correlation, I guess, to the quality of the cells. Good lithium is light.
All right.
We kind of noticed that just from performance of use on the boat.
Yeah, seriously. No, they're insane.
Well,
Oh, good.
You guys had Courtney Douthit on last week. He's actually, did you guys talk about batteries on his boat?
Oh, yeah, big time.
You did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed the show. I'm sorry. I got to go back and watch it. But yeah, he's able to take out like an extra client every time he goes out because he got rid of AGMs.
Yeah, he got rid. Yeah, on his little boat, it's got one of those Poland tarpon boats. He's got a 36-volt trolling motor, or 36-volt trolling motor, and he said the only way he was able to do that is because a bit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Otherwise, he's stuck at 12 volt.
But I mean, we were playing it off with his boat. I mean, with Bree, him, and I on it was awesome.
Sweet.
Ryan, one of the coolest things that actually, since the last time that we spoke on this show or spoke in person, that I didn't realize was a feature with the app that you all provide, Billy got to witness. We fished a tournament in St. Augustine. We forgot to charge the boat on the way there, and we fished it. Then we went straight to an undisclosed location. We fished for 3 days nonstop. Never charged the battery, and finally on the last day, for the first time ever, this alert started going off on my phone, saying about that it was 20%, and you guys put a warning message in there about not forget to charge your battery, and which I did, but and you explain why you shouldn't run it that low and to get it on charge soon, and I just thought that was such a cool feature that you guys even thought. To not only do you provide a battery that can last that long with that kind of performance, but to help us not
kill it.
Not kill it, yeah.
Right. Well, even if you do kill it, if you bring it all the way down to zero and it shuts itself off completely, it's still got juice in it. It protects itself, and you're not going to damage the battery by draining it all the way down to 0%. Just so you know. So if you silence those alarms, Redfish, I'm going to win. Just kill it. It's fine. Just hook it up to a charger when you get home. You can do that thousands of times, and it'll still be rocking.
That's awesome.
One thing that someone had said to us, and it seems to be a common myth. I don't know if it's with all lithium batteries or just maybe some of the different ones. I have no idea. But is it true that if salt water hits a lithium battery, specifically Abyss, that it could blow up and explode and cause a nuclear reaction?
No. So our batteries are actually IP rated, and we hold the IP rating and all the other fun stuff, the CE, the UL, every certification we could possibly obtain. We have, including one in Europe where they actually beat up our batteries and they shoot them, they smash them, they blast them with salt water for hundreds of hours and all that stuff. And so we achieved that certification, which is pretty cool. But that being said, our batteries are, waterproof. I mean, don't go throwing your batteries in the pool. But if you do happen to drop your battery in the pool, like, you can go down and get it. It's not going to blow up in your face. Yeah, that's a non-issue. Now, if you take raw lithium, so if we cracked open a lithium cell and threw it in water, there will be a chemical reaction.
Okay. So
I mean, I'm not going to lie. It is what it is.
So don't shoot it under salt water.
Got it.
I don't even think I don't know where the sodium would come into play. I think it's literally the hydrogen in the water molecule that has the ability to fuel a thermal event with raw lithium or with lithium.
Wow.
Sorry, go ahead.
I could be wrong though, but like I was talking to firefighters, and we see these posts on Facebook, these Tesla cars on fire, and the firemen are like, "Oh, we used 3 fire trucks to put out this fire." It's like I was talking to one guy the other day, and he bought batteries for me, and I was like, "Why do you guys keep putting this on social media? Like, you guys know that a lithium fire can't be put out with water. You have to suffocate it. You have to use AFFF or aqueous film forming foam or some kind of powder." And he's like, "We just don't have the training. We don't have the funding." And it's just wild to me to see that. But yeah, you don't spray lithium fires with water. But luckily, that's not a thing with our batteries. Each individual cell will physically disconnect itself from the circuit in the event of a thermal runaway or some kind of catastrophic event. If it reaches over 160 degrees Fahrenheit, it will physically disconnect itself from the circuit and no longer allow anything to run through it. So They are extreme batteries. Just don't go shooting with your AK-47 and throwing it in the pool. We're good.
What's the guy's name that owns Tesla?
Oh, I can't
Elon?
remember.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Now, I know you and Elon are pretty close, so have you guys gotten to talk
Yeah.
in terms where this is going to be in Tesla? Or?
No, well, here's the thing. So all those Tesla fires and stuff and the Samsungs, they were using a certain chemistry. And we're going to go, there's like 100 different kinds of lithium chemistries, but they were using stuff that's like lithium cobalt manganese, right? Totally different blend of stuff inside of the batteries, and they were catching fire. So actually Tesla announced, I believe last year, it might have been a year and a half now, they're switching over to lithium iron phosphate, which is what we use, and which is the only approved chemistry by the American Boating and Yachting Council to be on your boat, the only chemistry approved to be used by your mercury outboards, etc. So we are seeing Tesla and those EV manufacturers switch over to a safer, lower voltage chemistry of lithium, which is lithium iron phosphate. So each individual cell is 3.2 volts, where if you look at like lithium ion, what they call it, there's a couple companies still selling prismatic lithium ion batteries on boats, which I don't agree with at all. But those are actually they're higher. They're like 3.6 or 3.8 volts. They're, great discharge rates and stuff, but over and over and over again, over time, it can get weird.
The next
by
time,
weird, I mean explosions.
the next time someone says to me, well, lithium battery is too expensive, that's because I hire really smart people like Ryan, because that was a whole lot of French, but it was super cool.
I'm sorry.
Nope. Didn't know we were going to have a chemistry class.
God,
Sorry.
we should do
The science behind it.
yeah, but like what not to mix, but actually mix it. Bring Ryan on the show,
Oh, I love it.
but not do it in the studio.
We'd have
maybe.
to do it somewhere else, like at a dump site somewhere where it's.
Well, Ryan and I talked. We have to go 9 miles past the coastline.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Safety third.
Hey, so you guys
You guys
have
are going to get me on another red list.
you guys have a 36 volt, 24 volt, 12 volt, and then you got the drop what's it
Those little
called?
guys. Yeah, I can't remember what they were.
Drop reel batteries.
Yeah, the electric reel batteries.
Yeah, electric
or
reel
deep
batteries.
drop batteries.
So the Bluetooth technology, like I've got in my battery, which I can't explain how helpful that app truly is. Yeah, and
You really
useful.
can't explain it.
No, seriously. I mean, I can look at it and be like, oh yeah, but I mean, it gives you all the information, Mario, like the different cells. So, I mean, for troubleshooting, you could call Ryan or someone there and they, tell them what the different numbers are in the different cells, and they can pinpoint it. But it tells you how much power you have left, if it's charging, not charging, idle. But anyway, so that same Bluetooth technology, is that available in 24 and 12 volt as well?
Yeah, so we have the 12 volt, 24 volt, 36 volt, 48 volt, and 72 volt batteries.
Holy
And
smokes! I didn't know about the last two.
Yeah, I didn't even know those existed.
Yeah. So we've had we got a lot of guys that live up here. The area I live next to, Dunedin. People drive golf carts everywhere. So all these folks that they have our batteries, they're like, hey, I got a golf cart. Can I use your batteries? I'm like, yeah, sure. We can run 24 volts in series. And that works. That's great. But we figured we might want to release a 48 volt battery, and we don't have a ton of them. But if you got a sweet golf cart, I got power for it. And then the 72 volt's kind of cool too. I don't even think we have that up on the website yet. I don't even know if I'm supposed to talk about it, but there's some stuff.
Here we are.
Nobody's
we're
watching
working on other things. Yeah, we're working on other things with the military, and that's 72 volt stuff.
Wild.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's one hell of a trolling motor, I'm telling you.
Seriously.
Yeah.
God, that'd be cool.
I think they were talking about doing 48 volt trolling motors, but I don't think they can figure out how to mount a 48 volt trolling motor on fiberglass without it ripping out of the hull.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, 36 will make the hull flat, so I can see that.
Put it straight to the transom.
Yep.
Let it ride.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, they call and they're like, I'm going to install it myself. I got a trolling motor. I'm like, well, at least call one of my installers and ask about the kind of brackets they're using, because I think if you do it wrong, the trolling motors, those 120-pound thrust trolling motors, they can rip themselves out. If you don't do it right, you got to have a good mounting plate. You got to have good brackets.
Learn from experience.
Yes, I did that. When I had a 120, and it was the first time we had it on the front of our boat, or on the front of my boat, and it ended up It's got enough power to break its own shaft, just put it that way, without running into anything. They're strong enough to, if you cavitate it and go back into a chop, it is strong enough to actually snap the shaft when it's all the way down.
Wow.
Smokes.
Yeah, so there's that. So they are very powerful trolling motors.
Wow.
You know, one of the things I can say too is I feel like with trolling motors, you know, it's one of those items on a boat that you can expect to break, right? It's saltwater, electronics, this is how it works. Since I've switched to Abyss, I have had, you know, slim issues with my trolling motor. 9 out of 10 times a trolling motor issue is not the trolling motor's issue.
Right. It's the wiring and
the wiring, one battery going bad out of the 3. So when you switch to an all-in-one, especially Abyss, that tells you, you know, if it's good or not good. I mean,
monitor it live.
Yeah, that's
less moving parts, basically. Yeah,
absolutely. So I mean, you know, besides the loss of weight on your boat, the power gain on it, you know, that right there. I mean, that, and I didn't realize that really until recently, just because
Well, you think back about when was the last time we serviced anything on it.
Yeah. Ryan yelled at me one time because I sent him a picture and my compartment was dirty, and he yelled at me to clean it. So, but
oh man, that's just because I was in the Navy and I lived on a sailboat for a while, so I'm pretty anal about keeping my boat. Hey, you know about that running 3 batteries in series though. Guys that run 3 batteries in series are great for business because that number 2 battery gets treated like the middle stepchild with red hair. And it always fails first and it brings down the whole system. I know I know there's a lot of guys that are going to not like that, but if you're running 3 batteries in series, doesn't matter if it's lead acid, AGM, or lithium, that number 2 battery always gets abused and it brings down the whole system really over time, depending on what the lifetime is of the batteries. I mean, drop that by 25% for that number 2 battery if you're running it in series.
And when you break it down, you know, the price of especially Abyss, like the price of Abyss compared to your 3 batteries or 2 batteries that you're going to spend in 3 years.
Yeah, every 2-3 years.
Well, I mean, just guides a year.
Yeah,
you know,
18 months I change trolling batteries and I run AGMs. So
and Abyss battery has a 10-year warranty.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So it makes all the sense in the world. It really does. If you're an avid fisherman, you know, weekend warrior guide, it really does. But just the performance and everything else, and get to call and talk to somebody like Ryan, I mean, all day long. Nick, they're all such cool people.
Have them yell at you for having dirty battery compartments.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys ever get that package we sent you, by the way?
Maybe not.
Oh.
You didn't get it? The gold envelope?
No.
What happened?
You didn't get the gold envelope that we sent you with the stickers?
What?
What?
Maybe not.
Are you kidding me? Oh, well, I'll call you after the show.
Oh, wait a second. You're talking about? I thought you were talking about like stickers in this program. My computer just tripped out. I missed a whole bunch that you said and it froze for a second.
No, the golden package that we sent you.
Yeah, I got Ozello Keys stickers. They're sitting on my desk. I'm trying to figure out where to stick them.
But you got the stickers inside of the package.
Yes.
All right. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. The CJ ones?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it
for Brian.
If you walk into my office, it's sitting right next to my business cards on top of my desk.
That's funny. I know exactly what.
Yeah. That's our friend Brian over Extreme Decalz and Hydro Deck, man. I can't remember how it came up. I sent them a picture, him and Nick, and of something. Oh, the battery tray, and Brian and Larry snuck one of those in there.
Yeah, on the airboat.
So, all right, cool.
That's funny.
Well, Ryan, man, we really appreciate it again.
Thanks for those.
Yes, we really appreciate you coming on the show, and also, I mean, for backing such an awesome product.
Yeah.
We got grouper season coming up here in September, so we've talked about doing some spear fishing. So let's get it done this time.
Sweet, yeah, let's do it. We'll go spear fishing and do some of that shallow water stuff with you, and then maybe I can get you guys down to come down and teach me how to fish with a pole. I'm buying a boat next week, and maybe a little bay boat style thing for me, my girlfriend, and the dogs. But I want to try to learn how to pole fish with it. So,
nice.
Deal sold.
I'm still gonna spearfish off of it.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we really appreciate everything, and thank you for everything you guys do. And hopefully we see you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate the opportunity. And, if anyone has any questions, give us a call at the office. If we're not there, it rings to my cell phone. I answer 7 days a week. So thank you. Have a good night.
Real quick, Abyss website. How do people find out more information?
abyssbattery.com.
Easy enough.
Beautiful.
You're the man. All right, brother. We'll see you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Take it easy, guys.
Alrighty.
That's good stuff.
Dude, I mean, I really can't. It's hard because we always talk about great products. But that's just kind of what we do is we back what we talk about. So, from Bahios and Florida fishing product reels and everything that we talk about, everything that you talk about on that couch, Mario, is stuff that we believe in. Mm-hmm. I mean, I really cannot talk highly enough about Abyss batteries. Truly.
Yeah, definitely. I love how they have the app on the phone because I have a difficult time texting and talking on the phone at the same time. I'm a single tasker. I can only do one thing at a time, and that app sounds like it just lays everything out right in front of you and tells you all the information you need.
Super easy. They've got some really good tutorials and stuff on their website, so check them out. All right, tonight's trivia question. So again, make sure that you shared this live feed in order to have a chance to win. Tonight's trivia question, and the answer has to be spelt correctly.
Oh, no.
Oh, yay.
It has to be spelled correctly. Where is the next stop of the Florida Redfish series?
Uh-oh.
Where is the next stop of the Florida Redfish series? It has to be spelled correctly.
I have a hard time spelling.
The first 6 people to answer that correctly is going to get added to the Hydro Deck Reel of Fortune and a chance to win one of those awesome Florida Redfish series shirts. Spinning to winning. And what else? There was something else I wanted to say about Florida Redfish series. Besides, they're the best ever.
One tournament until the grand finale.
Yeah, there's one tournament less, and then the championship is September. So if you've only fished one tournament, make sure you sign up to this next stop. And plus, I think it's my favorite town, outside of Citrus County. Love that place. All right, Sean, do we have a commercial or? All right, let's hit a commercial and we'll BRB.
Vagabond dreaming takes me through the night, sipping whiskey by the river, living out of sight. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane, 100 miles an hour toward the light.
Sabalitos.
Any moment the sun does come, 100 miles an hour in the fast lane, 100 miles an hour in the fast lane, 100 miles an hour till I'm done.
All righty, we are back at the Extreme Decalz Hydro Deck Reel of Fortune. So the answer was Panacea.
How to spell it? Yeah, I got me.
I don't know. All I can see is Aubrey's bun right now.
Yeah.
It means back up. All right, so real quick, want to give a couple shout outs here. So I want to give a shout out to Maddie and Dakota. That's Ken Claimer's G Babies.
My grandkids.
And so Maddie got the MVP competition for cheer award. And then Dakota got the JV volley flag.
Maddie got cheer, volleyball, flag football.
Oh.
And Dakota got flag football.
Oh. Maddie got all of those. The MVP for cheer, volleyball, flag football. Dakota got flag football and soccer.
That one was not, but.
I tell you what, dude, those kids, every time I see them, impress me more and more. So congratulations. Those are an awesome set of kids. They got a great grandpa and great grandma and great mom and dad and siblings and everything else. All right. Ooh, I see Matt Lanier's name on there. All right, so we got 6 names. Brianna's laying underneath of me. Not sure why. All right, so we got our 6 names. So Panacea was the correct answer. So Billy, are you going to actually spin it?
I'm going to try.
No scrim.
All right.
Yeah. What are you going for?
Redfish.
Grupa.
Mario.
Pompano.
Aubrey.
Pompano.
Shrimp.
Oh, Bree.
I don't know what's left.
Oh, the Pampano permit thing. David Dotson, congratulations. You won a Florida Redfish Series long sleeve shirt. One of that awesome shirt. It's got the digital fish camo.
Yeah.
Submerse outdoor gear makes it. It's awesome stuff. Guys, thank you so much for watching Fish Talk Live once again. Don't forget, actually, Mario, come over here for a second, my friend. Don't forget, next week we will not be live because Mario will be live in person at Cedar River Seafood Restaurant. Yep. Tell us a little bit about what's going to happen at the event next week.
We've got Captain Katie Jo Davis from Yankeetown. She's going to be talking electronics, maybe newer electronics, how to read them, how to work them, different things like that. And she's going to talk a little bit about the fishing up in Yankeetown.
Heck yeah.
Walkthrough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. She's going to have a big screen TV there with some screenshots and maybe like a presentation that she's going to show everybody. So.
Too cool. And I tell you what, man, the amount of giveaways that you had at that, holy crap.
We give a lot of stuff away.
Yeah, you do.
We're lucky enough to get all this stuff from our sponsors, just like you, and we give away as much as we can. And we thank everybody, all the local sponsors. All of our sponsors are local here to Florida.
That's awesome. What time does that start next Tuesday?
It starts at 7. We try to get there around 6, order some food. There's a lady that comes around, like a beer cart lady. You can come in, grab some beers. The food's great there.
Those tacos, oh my God.
The portions.
Yeah, big portions. We talk till about 8 o'clock, and then everybody kind of socializes while I pack everything up. So it's a good time, and there's a not just our guest speaker there as the captains, but there's usually 10 or 12 other guides, captains that are there, and they socialize with the crowd, and they don't mind you coming up just talking to them. We're all normal people, so you just come up and just talk. Yeah.
You two are the last thing that I would call normal.
Oh no, we're quite normal.
But
I got the papers to prove it.
No, it was cool with all the captains there. I mean, Andrew Fagan was super cool to see him there. But it was after the event was over, there was, it almost seemed like there was 12 different seminars going on, and it was
there's groups of people that talk to all the guides and the captains that are there, and it's always our guest speakers. Always they get inundated with a bunch of other questions that weren't asked through the seminar.
So of course Sean wanted to put
That's really nice.
But on a serious note, Sean, great job. Aubrey, Bree, awesome job. Mario, Billy, man, dude, I would rather do this with no one else but you two. This is so much fun. We have a great time each week. Mm-hmm. And, we got a question.
The seminar is at Cedar River Seafood. It's right off of 19, right before you get to Winn-Dixie if you're heading north on the right-hand side of the road, or Google Cedar River Seafood. You can find the address. You can follow it on Facebook, too. It's Fish Talk Seminars with Captain Mario Costello.
Awesome event.
And we'll make a post too. So if you follow our page, we'll make the post, let you know where it's at. But be sure to follow that seminar, Captain Mario Fish Talk Seminars. Yep. It's pretty much just right across 19 from Kia.
The Kia dealership. Yeah, it's right across the street. Yeah. So it's a good time. No drama. Hashtag no drama.
Hashtag no drama.
It's the best thing about OKM. There ain't no drama here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cool. Scott Parrish wanted to say again, I feel like you've said this several times, but great show, Sean McDonald.
Yeah. It looks like your handwriting, Sean.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you to the speaker, the guest that we had on the show tonight. Abyss Batteries. Thank you as always for everything you guys do. all of the amazing sponsors. Josh, James, Chris, great job in St. Augustine. Thank you so much.
Good fishing, fellas.
Ayinde, I mean, Gary Marriage, you know, the whole entire Phillips crew.
I think Scott Parrish has been hacked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Sean says he's not doing it. Guys, thank you so much. And we will not see you next Tuesday on here, but we'll see you live at Captain Mario's Fish Talk seminars at Cedar River Seafood. Great show, Sean McDonald.
Again. Yes.
All right.
3 times.
See you guys.
Scott.
Damn. You all right? Oh, I'm good. I told you to be careful.
Is that GoPro on?
Yeah. That's bad right there. Oh, that was better than catching a fish.